touchdown and go to a count up to 40, starting at 36. What is that?
I have no idea what you're looking at, man.
I didn't see that.
Oh, that's what popped up on my screen.
Oh, thanks for telling the people behind the scenes look right there. Special features coming at you. Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. That was Ryan the Tagless Haynes there, talking about some weird numbers, some matrix code going across the screen, I guess. We got Matt, IR Regan. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah.
Tired, man.
Yeah,
Yup.
It was a long weekend, huh?
That was a
Long
long
night.
game last night.
It was a long game. We'll get into that. I am Mac Disfatt-Bidge. We are here tippers. We are just some casual fantasy football winners, sometimes losers. Just giving our tips on everything fantasy football, and you can choose to take our tips or reject them, slap them away. That's up to you. You can find us on YouTube at Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast, or you can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon podcasts as well. If you could like, subscribe, and follow our podcast channel on those platforms, it'd be much appreciated. Download the episode, share our tips with your friends. There's plenty of tips to go around. And you can follow our socials at Just a Tip FFP. All right, enough of that.
Take a breath.
How about that freaking goat bowl last night, man?
Oh, awesome.
Regan, I have to apologize. I said you guys had no hope the day before or a couple days before we were doing our preview that Patriots had no hope at all. And give it to Belichick, man. He man up the corners and was like, nope, you got to run on us. You're not gonna pass all over us, even though some missed throws, some drop balls, but that's football, baby. Did you lose a couple days off your life there? You all right? You making it through?
I only missed some time on that kick, dinging off the crossbar. Oh, that killed me.
Yeah.
We do owe
Ryan.
Mother Nature a check because that helped us out too.
A little bit. Ryan, hindsight's 2020. Still be Captain Hindsight there, but watching the game, you thinking kick the field goal 56-yarder or go for it on 4th and 3?
I was thinking go for it on 4th and 3, just knowing Nick Folk has always been limited in how far he could kick.
Right.
I was actually surprised to hear he ever kicked a 56-yard field goal.
Like
But
11 years ago.
Off the foot, I was like,
And he's hurt.
oh, man, he nailed it. Like, that's going to go.
Oh, I thought it was too.
Had the distance, man. It had the distance. So it was the right call, apparently. Just wide left.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I guess, I don't know. If you look at it, Mac Jones is completing 70% of his passes as usual. It's like, what are the chances of him making the field goal? I know how much we love kickers on this show, but I didn't look to the stats. But if he's only made 56 once in his entire career,
I know.
I don't know. I think I would go with the guy I have a 70% chance of converting this pass. Okay, I'm going to take that instead.
Well, there's two things I was thinking. I was thinking, one, Nick Folk is limited, and it's raining, and this is a 56-yard field goal. So I was thinking multiple things. And then I was also thinking there's 40 seconds left. The Bucks, I think, had a timeout
It was
or
like
two.
a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Bucks had a timeout or two. So I'm like, even if we hit this like miracle kick, Brady's going to get the ball. He's going to go down, and they're going to kick a field goal and win the game.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, you got to give him too much time, but your defense is playing really well. So, yeah, I don't know. A little bit heartbreaking for you Pats fans out there, and pretty heartbreaking for me because I started Brady.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the moment just he got too amped up for it and was just missing passes. But I mean, if Antonio Brown catches that deep bomb touchdown, it's a
that was close.
whole different game. So
either one of them, he should have caught at least one of those.
At least one of them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Antonio Brown was on the receiving end of breaking the passing record for Brady, right?
He was.
I win the bet. Hot sauce. What's
For you
guys?
guys, for you.
Get your hot sauce. All right, I'll have to get that too.
I'll do the next
But
one.
that was that you eat hot sauce, right? If you win,
No,
it's like a prize.
You guys
Yeah.
have to give your rough take while you're eating hot sauce. I don't want tears. I want tears streaming down your face.
Sweat mostly.
Oh man, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, next
Just
week.
don't rub the eyes.
I'm in.
All right.
Ask Hutch
And
about
with that, what's that, Regan?
Ask Hutch, one of our.
Broke my back.
Oh. Way too soon. I just meant to get it queued up. Yeah, Hutch on wings. Yeah, I did that too as well at the wing fling. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, that's where I met Gronk.
Yeah, that was a rough time.
Ooh.
Very hot wings, Ryan. Don't eat them. They're not worth it.
Let's just say Hutch had
Hutch.
to use the bathroom.
Hutch had to use the bathroom. He wanted to drink milk. They didn't have milk. He's drinking creamer.
It was a half and half.
And it was half and half. And Miss Massachusetts walks in and sees him bawling his eyes out as he's drinking the creamer.
It was
Great
good stuff.
story. I
It's a
love it
good
when he
icebreaker.
tells that story every time. Yeah, it's great. Shout out to Hutch there. Hopefully he wins this weekend. But yeah, with that, on Mondays, we're going to get into, today is October 4th, 10-4, guys. We are cruising along. Week 4 in the books, almost. We're recording before the Monday night game, so when we go through our rankings, recap, just keep in mind, those guys still haven't played yet. But with that, we're going to get into the Hurt Locker.
Broke my
There we
back.
What do you mean by that? You broke
Back is broken.
what? A vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
What do we got, Ryan?
All right, so we did have a few significant injuries coming from yesterday's action. The most significant, I would say, is David Montgomery leaves early with a knee injury. This is following a 100-yard, 2-touchdown performance. Guys, I'm feeling a little salty about this because if a guy goes down in my lineup, this is the performance I want him to have before he goes down. Why do my guys go down in the first quarter and David Montgomery has 100 yards and 2 touchdowns before he goes down?
I mean, I hope he gets better. I mean, he is human, prick. All you are is worried about your fantasy team.
I know.
He was doing good too, man. He was doing good. It looks pretty bad though. Did the MRI come back yet?
It hasn't come back, but it's been said that it does not look like a torn ACL, which is the best you're going to get right now.
That's good news. All right, what else?
Should have picked up Damian Williams last week. Teddy B ruled out after a concussion, and I don't know which quarter it was in. He had only 16 pass attempts when this happened, but he might miss some time as well. Jimmy G did not return after suffering a calf injury, so kudos to him for making it to week 4. I'm proud of him. And Trey Lance steps in, and that's a couple of touchdowns and does decent. We'll get into that. And then the last injury was that Will Fuller ruled out with a hand injury early on in the game yesterday against Indy. We all know his history with injuries, so we'll see the severity of that as well.
Yeah, it's a broken finger.
Not like he was doing anything anyway.
It's a broken finger, and he'll be out next week already.
Of course.
Wow.
And then Joe Mixon is day-to-day with his ankle. I think I just read. So
it's a mild ankle
that
sprain.
happened on Thursday night, though. So seems like forever ago. Anything else on that?
No, I think that's it.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
With that, we are going to get into the Week 4 recap of the guys that were hard-performing players and the limp-performing players on the week. We'll highlight some of the ones from the week. Not everybody, so we apologize. We don't have that kind of time, and I don't think you have that kind of time to listen to us anyway. So we'll get to who we deem important. And we are the tippers, and what we say goes. So with quarterbacks.
Nice.
Yeah, top 5 here. Patrick Mahomes, shocker. 5 touchdowns. 24 completions out of 30, man. Just great. Great performance. Look at this guy. Sam Darnold. Look at that. Tell me we started him in our 2QB league, Ryan.
Oh, hell yeah, we did, man.
All right.
And you know what? I was seeing those naysayers all week. They're like, no CMC. He didn't look great against the Texans when CMC went down. Was depending on his legs. That can't last. Quarterback 2 this week.
Quarterback
baby.
2. Might stay. 37.5 points, man. That's going to be hard to beat tonight. We'll see. I mean, it's Herbs and Carr, so we'll see. And then
it's not
this
Carr.
guy. That's definitely not Carr. He's definitely not Peter. Matt Ryan, his former self. This guy ranking at number 3 here.
My God.
25 completions, 4 touchdowns, 283 yards. Good for you, Matt Ryan.
Not going to last.
Yeah, it's not going to last. Dak Prescott, 14 completions off of 22 attempts, 188 yards, but 4 touchdowns. Who did he throw those touchdowns to? Because it wasn't CD freaking Lamb.
Nope.
Threw one to Amari.
He did throw one
Just
to Amari.
one.
That was a nice one too. And then my other boy, my guys that I said start this week, Taylor Heinicke from Washington, 23 of 33, 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, 43 yards on the ground too. I didn't mention the rushing yards, but I really needed top 5 quarterbacks there. That's pretty crazy. Who you guys want to touch on for some hard players here? Ryan, I'll throw it to you. You got anybody?
Yeah, and I think you'd agree with this. I think the 2 guys I would like to mention are Sam Darnold and Taylor Heinicke, because they're not only doing it through the air, they're doing it on the ground, man. Like Sammy D, 6 carries, 35 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, rushing touchdown last week too. And then Taylor Heinicke, 5 carries for 43 yards. And both guys Darnold did throw for 300. Heinicke threw for 290 and multiple passing touchdowns as well. So these guys killing it, man. 3 weeks in a row, top 12. Both of them.
One of them with Heinicke, McLaurin just made an awesome move on the ball. The defender was just stupid, but Heinicke was being knocked out.
He was like laying down.
Yeah. But the other ball that he threw to him, though, in the corner, back left corner of the end zone, oh my God, that was a beauty. On a rope, as they would say when Jay Cutler would throw.
Is Ryan Fitzpatrick getting his job back?
No. I don't think he'll come back this year.
I don't think so either.
Would you guys,
looks like the real deal.
Would you guys believe that I benched Lamar Jackson for Heinicke? Because I did.
Nice job, Reeks.
And it felt great.
Yeah. I would have done that too.
Well, you talked me into it, so I was like, it makes sense.
Yeah. I like Heinicke, man. He's good. He's trying to play for a job. And, we'll see. You got anybody you want to touch on here, Regan?
Not really.
The quarterbacks are kind of said done.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, though, only his second half worth of work with Chimmy's going to be out a couple weeks. But they do have a bye in 2 after this week, right?
Yep.
I think they have a bye week. So I don't know. We'll talk about him in the waiver wire. Is he worth grabbing up? We'll do that next episode. So let's get into the limp players. Oh, man. Number 25, Kirk Cousins. So I sang high praises of Sam Darnold, Taylor Heinicke, and I'm singing high praises of Kirk Cousins. And looks great at the beginning of the game and just ridiculous. Hopefully you didn't start him. 25th on the week. So hopefully you guys didn't start him.
I have him as my quarterback 2 and 2 super flexes, which has been, up until this point, has been fantastic. First drive, like you said, throws a touchdown to Justin Jefferson. I'm like, all right, here we go again, baby. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Nothing the rest of the game.
They couldn't get anything going on offense. We'll get into the running backs later, but freaking, number 6 on the year, number 6 or 7, and just does that. So not good. Then Taysom Hill, like, you're not even starting where you get a couple attempts, he runs into the end zone, 21 on the week. You're limp because I don't like you. Go away. If you're not the starter. I would have liked you if you were the starter, but you're not. He would have been Jalen.
This is what Taysom Hill has done for 4 years. If you've owned Drew Brees over the last 2 or 3 years, it's just been like, oh, nice, they're at the 15-yard line. He's going to throw it to Michael Thomas, and Taysom Hill runs a 15-yard, sneak or whatever, draw into the end zone.
So I've been playing fantasy football for, 15 plus years now. I don't think I've ever had Drew Brees on my team.
Me neither, actually.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I always wait late for a quarterback, so I never would get him. Anyway, then number 28, Tom freaking Brady. What do you have? 11 points. No touchdowns with his return. That's what it was. The return to Gillette. So I'm sure a lot of us got burned starting him. And I had Heinicke and Jalen Hurts on my bench. Jalen Hurts was number 6. Taylor Heinicke was number 5. So.
No wonder why you're sour.
But after what he did with the Rams, I was like, I can't bench Brady. I got to keep him in. So whatever.
He's got
had a rough week.
He's got Miami next week. I might be nervous about playing him next week as well. Miami usually has his calling card. Just saying.
No.
Playing them?
They suck.
They do.
They suck out loud. But, yeah, I mean, their defensive corners are good, but he might get picked off a couple times, but he'll throw a few touchdowns, so I don't think you'll have to worry. Let's get into our fairway players for the quarterbacks here, unless you guys want to touch on anybody else, you good?
I was going to say, just so you guys know, Drew Brees is available in all formats.
He is available.
0% rostered, so if you want to pick him up.
I'm surprised there's not
How's your chance?
a whole dynasty leagues that are just holding on to him, just like, he might come back.
Full of Brett Favre.
Yeah. Anyway, fairway players. Ryan, who was it?
Well, we all put down the same fairway, and I think it all makes sense. I think Darnold and Heinicke, those are the two guys. We've been high on them. We've advocated for them, and they continue to shine. Even with other people, analysts, still down on them. Darnold, Heinicke, baby.
Makes sense. Regan, you called it with Lamar Jackson. It's gutsy to bench him, but he really has not been doing well at all this year. So are you getting nervous with him?
With Lamar, no, because he did look good, but I just...
Number 18 on the week.
Yeah, they were playing Denver. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where my main concern was. And he also was out for 3 days of practice with a back injury, back soreness. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll be fine. I'm not too worried.
Yeah, he's the number 10 on the year right now. So, but he had 20 points, 36, 22, 21. It's not normal Lamar Jackson numbers, so keep an eye on that. Maybe if you're a Lamar Jackson truther and you want to trade for him, somebody might be frustrated. Trade away Heinicke for him for the longer value. I wouldn't be opposed to that. In the rough, Tom Brady for me goes out without saying. Regan, you have anybody rough? You just had all your picks right.
No, honestly, my problem is all my leagues have like the same quarterbacks. So Jalen Hurts was, been doing great. I guess Tom Brady would probably be my only one that I was high on. That. Yeah. I think the quarterbacks they're so slim. There's only 32, so not too easy.
unless you're on the Saints.
Seriously, 33.
Ryan, how about you in the rough?
Well, you know what? I put Kirk Cousins, and I think for obvious reasons, we already touched on that. But another guy that, in the opposite sense, that I was kind of low on, who actually performed really well once again, is Daniel Jones. 28 for 40, 402 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and 27 rushing yards. So
number 7 on the week. Yeah, fooled me. After last week, I was like, nope, I dropped him. I'm all set with that. So. But I went with Sam Darnold instead, so worked out okay. We'll see long term, though. All right, let's get into the running backs here for our hard players. I need to stop not switching over before I start mentioning it as we segue into them. Now, I'm going to start off Saquon Barkley, number 1. We'll get into who could have been the number 1 in the next section, or should I just do it now? I'll just do it now.
Yeah, go for it now.
All right, Cordell Patterson. If you are starting him as a running back, he would have been number 1 on the week. beating out Saquon by 5 points, but he is ranked number 3 at wide receiver. So we'll talk about him more with wide receivers. Saquon Barkley, number 2 is Derrick Henry, 157 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground, 2 for 2. Look at him go. He is reception PPR machine over here. Saquon Barkley, only 13 carries, 52 yards, and 1 touchdown, but he was 5 for 6, 74 yards and a touchdown. Forgot to mention that. Then David Montgomery here getting injured, 106 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, man. So yeah, that's sad. And Najee Harris, number 4, 21 points here. So 62 yards and 1 touchdown, then 6 for 7 for 29 yards. They needed a pass to him, but yeah, Steelers look gross, man.
Oh,
I don't know how he's going to be able to keep it up. I really don't, because once they eliminate him, and another receiver, they're toast. So
he's made an early case for Rookie of the Year, though. I think Regan said that before the season.
I think he did, and Jerry was pretty high on him in our betting episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good on you guys. And
you should.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Regan.
I was going to say they should probably go get Drew Brees.
Just put Dwayne Haskins in, man. Come on. He made Terry McLaurin relevant. What's the worst that's going to happen? Number 5, Gainwell. Kenneth. Should we call him Kenneth or Kenny? I don't know. Kenneth Gainwell, man. Look at him go. I think we were saying Miles Sanders should get some work. Yeah, no. Kenneth Gainwell. That's where the work went.
Wild.
Only 3 carries, 31 yards, but 1 touchdown, and 6 for 8 for 58 yards. So good for him. Regan, you got any guys you want to highlight here for the hard players and running backs?
So we'll talk about Gainwell in the next one. I got nothing.
Okay.
I zoned out.
I figured you want to mention your next boy, number 6, James Conner.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
loving it.
So, yeah, a couple weeks ago, I was just like, touchdown or bust. And he's okay. he's doing all right here. 2 touchdowns off of 18 carries, 50 yards. So
no catches though, right? I don't
we'll
believe he had a
talk about
catch.
him more. 2 for 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 for 2. He did fumble though, so be careful. Yeah, we'll talk about him next episode, but
right.
I am shocked at that. Damian Williams, we'll talk about next episode as well, but he got 15 points. Then Leonard Fournette carried the team last night for the Bucks. What are you sorry for?
I'm pretty sure you asked who he'd like better, Leonard Fournette or Gordon.
Jones.
Who was it?
No, it was Jones or Fournette we talked about. And,
I talked about Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, though.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh,
I started Gordon, but it's all right. I wasn't going to win anyway. Yeah,
I was all over Fournette. I thought that this was going to be his week. He's just considering his size and his power and watching this Patriots run defense through the first 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, they got to utilize Fournette. What I didn't expect is for him to be as used in the passing game as he was. I mean, what did he have? Like 5 or 6 targets at least? 5
targets, yeah. 3 receptions, 47 yards. One was a bad throw by Brady. Instead of leading him, he threw it right behind him and over his head. So he had room to go. So he would have gotten over 50 yards with another reception there.
Easily the best player on that team
Leonard
yesterday.
Fournette, I'm leaning that way. It seems like he's trending to be their starter, but once that happens, they always switch to the other guy. And Ronald Jones got the touchdown. So, oh well. Number 13 on the week, you could do worse for running back 2. So we can get into those worst players for limp players. Myles Gaskin, big goose egg. I don't know what to do with him. Maybe a drop candidate. I don't know. I'd rather not. Pick up Salvon Ahmed, though. That's my preview for the waiver heads or Malcolm Brown, because I don't know what they're going to do with him. Other guys, I wanted to touch on this. Limp players here. Number 27, A.J. Dillon, and number 30, Aaron Jones. So they're splitting carries, 15 carries each. Are we nervous about this? They're protecting their investment in Aaron Jones. They paid him in the offseason. Making it a split backfield, or was it just a tough matchup against Pittsburgh? They wanted to, ease some pressure off of Aaron Jones. Ryan, talk me off a ledge here with Aaron Jones.
I see Aaron Jones as a limp player this week. I don't think AJ Dillon's in that category because clearly he outperformed his performances from weeks 1 through 3.
Right.
I think he had like 10 fantasy points or something. I started him because I was desperate for a running back, and then I pulled him out of my lineup last minute. So that was a little disheartening. But Aaron Jones, I still think he's going to have plenty of work in the passing game, and I do think it was a bad matchup against Pittsburgh. So you got to see what happens next week, and just kind of go from there. But I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be.
I think I messed up the rankings there on that. Aaron Jones is 27. AJ Dillon is 28. My bad.
Okay. Still close, though.
Yeah, it's close enough. They're both just over 10 points if you're using decimal scoring. We go off of PPR format as well. I don't think I mentioned that. And then limp player here, Alvin Kamara. This one hurts. 120 yards on the ground. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Then Taysom Hill has to come in and steal his touchdowns. Not great. So stop doing that, Taysom Hill. And then first time in his career, he had no targets.
Ever. I can't believe that.
Why are they not doing that? And they lose. Oh, did I mention? Yeah, the Giants beat them. You might want to target Kamara.
I don't know. The strategy for the last couple of years has been get the ball to Kamara as much as possible and let him do what he does. And they haven't been consistent with that. I mean, week 1 he only had 1 target. This week he has no targets. But clearly he's explosive. Like he's got 120 yards on the ground. Like it seemed like every time they gave him the ball, he was just like 5, 6, 7, 8, these big chunks of yards. And just give the man some targets, create some plays, get creative where you're getting him involved in the passing game. I don't get it.
Me neither. Nick Chubb here had 100 yards off of 21 carries, no touchdowns though, so he's very TD dependent here. With Kareem Hunt around, what did Kareem Hunt have?
Kareem Hunt was
number 14 on the week. He had 69 yards, a touchdown, and 2 for 4 for 17 yards. He did miss a touchdown in the end zone and went right between his hands. So looked like me out there trying to catch. Not good. Regan, are you worried about Nick Chubb? You don't have him in a league, though.
I do. I do have him in one league, and I don't think I'm worried in general. I think he should be a decent top 10 running back, but his upside has definitely gone down, and this is 2 weeks in a row that Hunt is necessarily outperformed him, and they're going to him more often, and these catches are pretty much where it's at. They're needing to pass it. Yeah, I mean, he number 25 on the week, Nick Chubb that is, and Ryan brought this up too before the season, before drafting him. He's really touchdown dependent, and once you don't do this, it's going to hurt you. So it probably did this week. Anybody else you guys want to touch on for limp, or get into our fairway and rough? Keep it going.
Let's go fairway.
All right, go to the fairway then. Ryan, who do you got?
Yeah, so I already touched upon Leonard Fournette. I was on top of that. The other guy I talked about who I was pretty high up on this week was Darrell Henderson, who had another really impressive week. And he's being balanced as far as being used he's been balanced as far as being used in the rushing game and the receiving game. And same thing, like the guy is powerful. He can break tackles. He can create plays. So I expect him to be on this like borderline RB1 territory, through the remainder of the season if he keeps it up.
Yeah, I get it. My guy, Jonathan Taylor, I was saying, feel your pain, him not showing up, and then What fixes that? Facing Miami. So he did pretty well. I meant to write down his stats here. Here we go. Number 8 on the week, 103 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 for 3 for 11 yards. So that's a little weird. Not much yardage through the air there. I figured he'd have more. With Haynes, he went out with some injury stuff too, but then he kept coming back in. So a little shaky in the backfield there. So we'll see. Regan, who do you got?
I think we touched on it earlier. It's just Najee Harris. And he's getting 100% of the carries. He's pretty much their second leading receiver. And I don't know if I'm nervous if I want to trade high on him. I'm worried about him getting overworked. That being said, it just seems too good to be true is what I'm saying. He is this team. He is the offense. I know Dante Johnson is getting these nice touchdowns, and he's the only wide receiver I really have trust in at this point. With Big Ben and struggling, he had some horrible throws to Juju Schuster this week, and that's been grossing me out. So I guess maybe it's just this whole team I'm nervous about, and I kind of want to sell on everyone.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm in one league, though, with he's my number 1 running back, so I don't think I can trade him. Because
I'm in the same boat.
I was 11th spot, and I took Travis Kelce. Everybody went running backs beforehand. And what do you see? How random these running back numbers are after the 6th running back. It's really not worth taking a running back there. So I go number 1 position, either a wide receiver, tight end, whatever I can get. And Najee Harris, we'll see if he can keep it up. So, I get it. We'll have to dig into that deeper. For the rough, my guy, not my guy, Regan's guy, James Conner. We'll talk about him next episode, but I keep getting him wrong, so I'm scared to say one way or the other because people will pick him up and start him, and then he'll put a goose egg up. I don't know. So, Ryan, who do you got for your rough player?
For me, Mike Davis. I've been trying to stick up for this guy since the beginning of the season, and now he's getting less and less work, and Cordero Patterson's looking damn good, which I never thought I would say because the man is 33 years old and has been fantasy irrelevant since he was 22, even though everyone was high on him. And now that everyone's low on him, here he is.
He found the fountain of youth or something, man. So
I guess so.
He looks good, and defenses were thinking the same thing. Oh, we don't need to cover him. Just let him go. It's fine. It can't last, though, but we'll get into that next episode. Regan, who do you got?
So I think it was mine's Chris Carson, and I think I labeled him pretty much as a automatic start. Easy, simple. He's been killing it. And this week, he somehow just gets shown up by Alex Collins. So this is something I think we'll probably talk about in the next one. But I'm a little nervous about this guy. That's not a good sign that he got showed up big time.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Collins got 10 carries for 44, and he stole a touchdown for him. So I don't think it will last. It was just a weird game for Seattle all around.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson rushed in a touchdown, and then Lockett didn't show up. I think he locked his keys in the car and couldn't make it to the stadium.
It's awesome.
Oh, damn it. Anyway. Moving on to the wide receiver hard players on the week. We got Tyreek Hill, man. 11 for 12, 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. This guy want to share the wealth or what? Jesus. Deebo Samuel, 8 for 12, 156 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, share the wealth. God. Cordell Patterson, mentioned him already.
Another one.
3 touchdowns. Ridiculous. I'll talk about him in a minute. I think I said next episode, but I meant next segment. DJ Moore, this guy's awesome. I was pretty high on him in the offseason, and he's going above my projections already. Just ridiculous. Good for him. 8 receptions, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Then Terry McLaurin, this is a little troubling though. 6 receptions off of 13 targets, so like half of okay, good, you're getting that, but Neil look in to see are they catchable and all that, and what the game script was. Like, was he just throwing it out of bounds? They counted as a target. I don't know. 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, so good for him. Cordell Patterson, though, I want to get into a bit. I already said if you have a running back, great, such a steal. If you are not desperate to keep the points, Ryan, are you looking to trade Cordell Patterson? Because he's only getting 33% of the snaps. There's no way they're going to keep this up, and defenses are going to be like, hey, when he comes out on the field, let's cover him.
Seriously.
He can't keep this
he's
up. He's
definitely a very, very strong candidate. And if you can trade, if you could like dangle him out there for a trade for a guy like, before this week, like a Jonathan Taylor or, somebody of that caliber. I think he's definitely exactly a strong candidate to be traded.
I think I would be trying to flip him for a receiver that somebody was like struggling with, like I don't know.
DeAndre Hopkins. You would trade Cordell Patterson for DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, yeah.
I would say. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about DeAndre Hopkins being old, so we'll see.
The upside though, like
I
don't think I'm with you. Like I think this is like very short lived for Cordarrelle. He's never done this before. Never has he been this relevant. So this is, you don't know when he's going to drop off, and like a guy like Hopkins who you can buy low right now. And I don't think you're doing Patterson for Hopkins straight up. I don't think there's a lot of people that are going to.
No.
You'd have to put him in a package for like a Hopkins.
And get the centerpiece that you want, and he's gonna have to be that extra piece to get you over the top. So, Regan, you have him. You trying to trade him?
Yes, I think you kind of, the value's so good. It's not that you have to trade him, but it's what you're going to get in return, and you're going to get something that's probably a little bit more consistent. Because exactly what Mac, you said it perfectly. About 23% of the snaps, which is not a lot. He's going to come onto the field, and they're going to watch for him because he's going to be Matt Ryan's go-to guy. Simple enough.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, he had 30% of snaps.
That was,
this past week. So, trade him. Trade him now.
Can I say something about Tyreek Hill? Can he find some kind of consistency? Like 37 points, 6 points, 10 points. 48 points. What are you doing, dude?
He would have been a good guy to trade for. Maybe someone was like, this ain't gonna work. They gave up on him. It could happen.
It only takes like 2 or 3 weeks, like 2 or 3 down weeks for somebody to get real desperate and just trade. Especially if they're losing and losing and losing. They're ready to just scrap it.
Especially check the guy that's has a Christian McCaffrey on his team, and he's hurting for running backs in a league, and you might want to try targeting Christian McCaffrey with a nice tight end
unavailable
like Hawkinson and Cordell Patterson and a receiver. Come on, Regan.
Get out of here.
Guys, I wanted to touch on Devontae Smith. Good to see him back. Hopefully he can add a touchdown next time. He had 7 receptions, 122 yards. So good for him. Just getting the end zone. Then Stephon Diggs, he's slowly trending back upwards. There might still be a small window to trade for him right now, but it's probably past him because guys that have him are like, all right, he's getting better. Like, he'll be more involved, hopefully. At least Emmanuel Sanders wasn't taking all the touchdowns from him this time. So we'll see. And I'll get into that guy later. Number 18 here, AJ Green. I hope that's right. Yeah, AJ Green, 67 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 for 6. So, yeah, we'll talk about him next episode, I'm sure. You guys have anybody that you want to touch on for your hard players here?
Keep moving.
Jamison Crowder.
Yeah.
Big week coming off that injury. And He's been a guy the last 2 seasons who's been very, very consistent, a good flex play on a regular basis. So
PPR.
Keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, PPR for sure.
He had 7 catches.
Yep. And then a guy we'll talk about next episode. Didn't want to not go without mentioning him. Randall Cobb, 5 for 6, 69 yards. And two touchdowns. So we'll talk about him next episode, I'm sure. But yeah, good for him. Welcome back. It's weird. All these weird older receivers are coming back in. Cordell Patterson, Randall Cobb,
AJ Green.
AJ Green. What did I say? What is this? 2012?
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him. I'll get into my fairway right now. I said Corey Davis and Jamison Crowder. You can go ahead and start them in the flex. And Corey Davis, number 8 on the week, and Jamison Crowder in the 14 spot there. So don't call it a comeback. But Zach Wilson looks good. The Jets. I'm just kidding. He had flashes, but they still got a lot to work on. Like not dumping Gatorade on the coach after winning the game against the Titans when they didn't have the receivers. But anyway, did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
I did.
Salas hugging the other team, and they bring up the Gatorade and dump it on him. It's like,
what was Salah's reaction? Was he immediately just
they cut the camera, but I'm sure he wasn't happy about it.
They ran laps.
They probably get on the line.
Don't miss those days.
It's like again. Remember that after Dartmouth? Oh. That was great. Fun story. We played on the same high school football team, and we went up against Jordan Todman, who didn't even buckle his shoulder pads. And Jordan Todman, he played in the NFL for a little bit. He's coaching somewhere now. But he was a special teams guy, just fast, shifty. Couldn't touch him. 6 touchdowns off of 6 carries. Like we could not.
Yeah, 6 for 6.
It was something like that. It was ridiculous. We just could not. It was not fair. Wasn't my fault though. I was the nose tackle, and he didn't go up the middle. So
he also had a tight end blocking for him who starred at the University of Georgia and was signed to the practice squad of Miami. So when you're D3 high school playing against these guys, totally annihilated you. Oh my God, man!
Was that fair? Time.
I'll tell you what. What's up with like every coach trying to be Kurt Russell and Miracle? That happened to me at least 3 times back in the day.
Outrageous.
It was like, get on the line again. Like, I know where this is from, guys. We watch movies.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Like, we probably saw it before you. That was like 4 years ago, guy. We saw it.
I hope coaches still aren't doing that move because it's
they
old.
are. You know it.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh,
all right.
Not
fairway,
me personally.
Fairway.
Not personally. Yeah. So fairway players. Ryan, you go.
Deebo Samuel.
I already mentioned my fairways. Yeah. Deebo Samuel.
Deebo.
He's killing
Regan
it.
was asked in a couple weeks if he could keep it up, and he's proven that if he's healthy, he sure as hell can. And he right now is basically a solidified wide receiver 1. And for like guys like me who has him in their flex in one league and a double flex, I'm like, this is fantastic. Just a little cherry on top.
That's good. Regan.
So you guys can tell me if I'm using this right, but fairway. So last week, DeAndre Hopkins, I said he's going to lose his boom games. He's not going to have these crazy games like he was having. AJ Green has now tied him in receptions. I think Hopkins has one more touchdown than him, but all his touchdowns came in week 1 and 2. So AJ Green is looking like the brighter player here now that DeAndre Hopkins is probably getting double covered and not getting as many yards. So I'm calling it a fairway because I'm calling my shot and saying that
if
we're
you
nervous.
make the right call.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be positive. So I had that question too, but yeah, it's worrisome. Kyler Murray, he only threw for 268 yards though, so I don't know. Maybe he has to get to that 400 range for him to be relevant. So yeah, I guess it's going to be matchup dependent from here on out.
We're playing the Rams, right? So
they were playing the Rams. So
there you go.
I mean, kicked their ass too. So good for them.
Yeah, they did.
QB1 on the year. That is Kyler Murray. All right, we got to move this along quicker here. Rough players. I don't have anybody, but you got somebody, Ryan. You want to go ahead?
Yeah. I put I had put Laviska Shenault as a drop candidate last week. Of course, he responds with 6 catches for 99 yards. Anytime we suggest anybody as a drop candidate, they immediately go off. I'm still not convinced this is going to be consistent because it hasn't been up till this point. And then the other guy who I didn't mention on the show, but who I was questioning starting or not this week was Darnell Mooney. And boy, was that a mistake not starting him. So
he was a drop candidate of mine. I wouldn't say force it, but if you had needed a spot for like Chuba Hubbard, I was saying go ahead and drop him. But now he's going to be a pickup, and maybe you're chasing points. I don't know. The first guy you mentioned, Laviska, with Shark out, he is not playing the rest of the year. I think he will get more consistent targets. Yes. So if you do have him, I think the silver lining knows that. You might be getting more targets there. Tight ends here. Go through our hard players here. Usama from Thursday night, tight end one, man. That'll be his career.
He looks so good, though.
Don't chase these points. I don't think it's going to keep up. That's what I wanted to say. You weren't the only one to say drop Laviska Shenault. A lot of experts were saying that, so don't feel bad. Dawson Knox, tight end 2. What was that?
We are experts.
Well, we are experts. I was saying
I
said a lot of other experts.
Oh, okay.
In that stratosphere with them. Dawson Knox, we're going to get into him next episode. 2 touchdowns off of 5 receptions. Mo Alley Cox, his one random game, and I missed it. Look at him go. That just grabbing the ball like a freaking peanut out of the sky, or a piece of popcorn. The guy's giant hands. 5 receptions, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. Good for him. Dalton Schultz, 1 touchdown, 6 receptions, 58 yards. We're going to get into him. Kind of annoyed. I dropped him in Dynasty, but when Blake Jarwin was coming back and stuff, I had to make room on my roster for the draft picks. And all my draft picks suck. So, rookie ones anyway. Except Elijah Mitchell. We'll see. Jury's still out. Max Williams here. 17 points on the week here. 66 yards, a touchdown off of 5 receptions. Good for you, Max. Maybe let those go back to DeAndre Hopkins. Arizona tight end there.
For clarifying.
Number 6 I wanted to talk about. What was that?
Thank you for clarifying. Some might not know.
No, I keep on reading the names like everybody knows, so I need to make sure I make a note of that. Mike Gesicki, tight end for Miami. 2 weeks in a row now. He was number 3, and now he's number 6. Brissett throws to him. Probably the only passing target I want any part to do with on that team. So if you need a tight end, pick him up. I'll check what his roster percentage is and let you know next episode. Who's next? Who wants to touch on one of the hard players?
Yeah. So I put Dawson Knox just because he's trending up each week. And I know we're going to talk about him next episode, but 4 consecutive weeks with a touchdown. And we all know that's how Robert Tonyan got all of his points last year, finished as tight end 3. So maybe he's this year's Robert Tonyan, man. Yeah. Maybe.
You got Gesicki at 68%, by the way, Mac.
68% roster. Yeah. So you have a chance.
Hey, Mac, our Gesicki Goddard argument is really going to be close, man.
It is, man.
Very, very close.
We made a bet on. I say Gesicki will finish 2 or 3 spots higher than Goddard. So because I thought the splitting of the Eagles here would ruin Dallas Goddard's quality, but he was number 7 on the week. And Zach Ertz was number 10, so they're feeding them the ball, throwing to them. If you have one of them, you can start them. You just hope that yours is the one that gets into the end zone. So Hurts threw for 48 times. You're going to want a tight end on offense where they're going to throw that many times. Hopefully they get it to him. So if that's what they'll do, take part in it. And hopefully it's not Goddard. Hopefully it's Ertz. Anybody else for their hard players? On tight end, it's always how it's always a crapshoot. We got Fant coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into the other players later, but limp players. Kyle Pitts, does he count? Number 14, we thought he'd go off.
Mm-hmm.
He only had 50 yards off of 4 receptions. Not good. Not good, Regan.
Don't drop
we
him.
drafted him kind of high.
Once
definitely don't drop him.
Yeah, once Cordell Patterson gets figured out, all those passes are going to him.
Once they trade away Cordell Patterson for real.
Oh, God.
It'll all be gravy. Limp players here that you got, Ryan.
George Kittle, 4 for 4, no touchdowns. So he continues to be limp. And surprisingly this week, Travis Kelce, 4 for 23, ranked 22.
Pathetic.
Yeah. I was going to bring up Kelce.
He hurt a lot of owners this week.
There was one play where he was the decoy. They're like on the goal line, and he's just like coming back. What? I can't hear you. What? And then he's like going back out, and then they run the play, and it
works.
It was a shuffle pass to the tight end Holland. So good for them. I think that was that play. I'm not too sure though.
Fortson, Jody Fortson, baby.
Foreskin. Yeah. What was the foreplay?
All right.
Name that reference. Name that show.
I don't know.
That's 70's show. Come on, Eric Foreman. Okay.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
Real quick, fairway players. Evan Ingram. I was not too high on him. I was saying you could do better. And I'm trying to find his ranking. So he was number 19 on the week. So, yeah, you could do at least 6 spots better for a streaming option because everybody else would have had him already for the startings. And who you got, Regan?
For fairway?
Yeah.
Gronk.
No. I wish.
I'll tell you who I had. I had Noah Fant because he's back in the top 10. And Max Williams. That's 2 out of 3 weeks, man. The guy's had 15-plus points. So I'm all for it.
How about Kyle's Hunter Henry? He looked like he was being used quite a bit.
Yeah, he was.
Just
good for him. He's
touchdown.
Actually, he's one of my rough players. I said sit both of those tight ends for New England. Yeah, we got Hunter Henry getting into the top 10 at number 9 and Jonnu Smith at number 12. So good for them.
You had to see it though. You had to see it because
they held me out in DFS though. I made Hunter Henry the captain, so I made some money off of that. So it was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Rough player. Yeah,
Evan Ingram.
I already said it. New England tight ends. You guys go.
Evan Ingram to counter your fairway. I was very high on Evan Ingram this week, especially with no Darius Slayton, especially with no Sterling Shepard, and just couldn't do much.
Yeah, mine's
Gotcha.
TJ Hawkinson. When this is a little, I don't know. This one hurts a little bit, but it seems like it's getting better. He had 8 targets this week, only 4 catches. He had about 8 points in fantasy. It's a little bit different compared to his what did he have? 25 and 20 points he had week 1 and 2, but week 3 only had 3. So it looks like he's getting back into the groove of thing. He gets a touchdown, he'll be fine. So, like I said last week, you're okay. Just wait it out. He's going to be good.
Yep, you're right. Hopefully he sticks it out, and hopefully Jared Goff plays better. All right. If you made it this long into the episode, you can like, subscribe, and share our tips with your friends. Download the episode for us and give us a 5-star rating. And follow us on those platforms. We really appreciate it. Follow us on social media platforms. Just a tip, FFP. One quick leftover. Ryan, go ahead.
Red Sox, man. They're in. And they got the home game coming up against the Yanks.
Big game.
No Chris Sale, though. He pitched yesterday, so.
They needed a pitch yesterday, right? So,
yeah. They needed the
quality going.
I think Evaldi's going.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going for the Yankees, but it's going to be a hell of a game. It's at Fenway. Winner, I believe, plays Tampa round 1, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yep. Should be good.
Red Sox just throw the game. Throw the game away. You're going to get clean sweep. Just go and play golf, man.
You don't
Get
know
down to
that.
Tampa.
His long season, I would probably be done with it at this point.
Yeah. I get you.
Baseball.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll watch it since there's no football on Tuesday nights.
Where's
Get
our
my
outro
waivers in.
music?
There you go. All right, boys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Signing off.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.